Hey there, Carrie Clark here with Speech and Language Kids and the SLP Solution. I am going to tell you today 3 strategies you can use to help a child who is repeating what you say. This is called echolalia, which is the fancy term for when a child repeats what someone else says instead of coming up with their own utterances. Now, echolalia is a very normal part of language development. So we see this in toddlers all the time. They repeat what we say because they are learning language. They are learning how to communicate, and that's how they learn is through imitation. So this is a very normal thing for young children to do. But sometimes our children who are struggling to learn language, our children with language delays, may continue to use echolalia later. So they may be using it when they're 4 or 5 instead of the 1 to 2 year old age where we would expect this to see this. So I'm going to give you 3 strategies today of how you can help a child who is using echolalia or repeating what you say. So the first one is to build their vocabulary. So it's possible that they are repeating what they hear other people say because they don't have enough words in their own vocabulary to really work to come up with their own sentences. So we can show flashcards of words to help build their vocabulary, but it's really more effective to do it during play. So maybe we are getting out toys and we are modeling words. We are showing them what those words mean. We are asking them to repeat the words and we're using them to build sentences. So there's lots of ways to build vocabulary. We have a ton of other resources on that over on Speech and Language Kids. So I'm not going to get into that on this video, but just know that if a child is repeating, building vocabulary is a great first step because that will give them the building blocks to be able to put together some sentences of their own. Okay, so that's number 1. Step 2 or strategy 2, these don't have to go in a specific order, would be to teach them how to request. So sometimes we will hear children repeat back what we have said as a way of requesting that thing. So I think this is one really common example of this is you hear little ones say, hold you, because they hear us say, can I hold you? And they want to be held. They say, hold you. But of course, that's not the correct way to request that. We want them to say, will you hold me? So we can help teach them to request if they are using echolalia for requests. And we would start with 1-word requests and then build our way up. So for the hold me example, we could start with hold, or we could go to hold me if they're starting to understand hold already. So teaching them how to request is the second strategy. The third strategy then is to teach them how to answer questions. So sometimes children will use echolalia as a way to answer questions. So we might say, do you want the cookie or the cracker? And they say cracker. But turns out they actually wanted the cookie. They were just repeating the last word you said because they don't understand how to answer questions yet. So we can teach them how to answer questions by maybe holding up the 2 choices and having them point, and then telling them the word for the one they want and having them repeat that word. And we can use that as a structure to teach them how to answer the question. So those are the 3 strategies. We have lots of information on all 3 of those over on speechandlanguagekids.com. So head over there, but hopefully that gives you an idea of if the child is using echolalia, then they probably are missing some language skills. So we can be detectives, figure out which skill they're missing, and then teach that specific skill. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow on our videos. Thanks.